let's have a beautiful experience. In this video, we're going to talk about pumps, gadgets, magic, and other types of apparatuses to help make your penis bigger, wider, thicker, longer, stronger, and harder. It's a beautiful thing. You gotta love it. All right, before we get started here, please do me a huge favor. Please ring the bell, subscribe to the channel. Of course, tell some friends, and make sure you follow me on my social media. I go by Jesus_Detroit on my Instagram, Snapchat. I'm YOUNGDAYGO, and you know what we're all about here in the BCC, the Big Cock Consciousness, the Big Cock Collective. We'll help you manifest a bigger, thicker, wider, longer, stronger, and harder penis. Help you naturally raise your testosterone and your human growth hormone. And I'm here to help you out. So I'm a spiritual guide and a mentor, here to expand your mind and increase your size. So without further ado, I'm here to tell you about some gadgets and pumps. And I got first started off with a quick salute, drinking some High Life with a lemon, really getting it in, getting lit right off the rip. And I gotta tell you, well, the lemon really grounds me to just cleanses my palate and just gets me open to receive the message of, the beauty of life. And you know what we're going with that. I mean, I always say I don't condone the use of alcohol. I don't condone the use of drugs, but I don't condone you not doing you. So you be the best you can, boo-boo. And what we're talking about here is, all kinds of gadgets and pumps and devices that you may or may not have seen all out there on the internet. And if you're somebody that's dabbling in the penis growth, these are things that are going to definitely come across your path, and they could be quite beneficial, and they can also be detrimental. And bottom line is, you got to have a basic understanding of what these things can do, and really it all comes into you. So we're gonna go ahead and name this video maybe devices or pumps, because I feel I'm gonna say pump, because you know what, I feel people really want to learn more about the penis pump and devices. Yeah, that's better, and I'll draw a heart. Couple of them. Boom, boom. Yeah, it looks good to me. Okay, so basically, before I get into the penis pump, I want to talk about a couple other devices that you might have seen out there. One of them looks like it kind of looks like a guillotine, and basically, these devices are like for stretching. So we'll go ahead and we'll name this the stretch devices right here. Stretch. All right, now I'm gonna go ahead and try to draw this as best as I can. You may have seen this. Basically, it has, two holes on it, like where you stick your cock through it. You got the one at the top, and then you got the one down here. And there's these, metal braces on the side. And you have like an adjuster type of thing right here. And basically what you're doing is you adjust these knobs and you pull it onto your penis to stretch it out. And, is that beneficial? Is it really necessary when you can be, jelqing and doing other types of stretch exercises? I find that it's not necessary. But be as it may, people that are handicapped or don't have, the strength to really, pull on their piece, because we're all about here, man. They have that huge piece of meat swinging at your knees, throbbing to the pecs, making you your best. That's right, man. I got to keep you on your toes, letting you know the flow's about to grow. And when we're talking about devices like this, I mean, just kind of giving you, the rundown, in my opinion, about why I don't think it's necessary. And there's people out there pushing these products and, saying that you can wear it at work and you can wear it around the house. I mean, I don't know if you want to have, this type of brace on your piece when you're at the gym or walking. I definitely wouldn't do that at the gym. Or maybe if you have a desk job, I could see that maybe being like, you got to handle phone business and be able to, you know, do a whole bunch of other types of, you know, things. So I guess, you know, maybe kill two birds with one stone. This way you're stretching out your, you know, your piece down there, and you're not, you know, you don't have to worry about doing the jelking and whatnot later. Bottom line is, there's only so much stretching you can do in a day before, you know, you're going to have to either take this thing off or stop, you know, jelking anyways. And that's why I like to put it usually off to the end of the day. You know, like I like to edge before bed. I like to do my jelks and all my exercises. They can definitely, you know, help you out. And, you know, we're talking about this type of thing. There's also another one that I saw where you actually put it on your ankle, and it basically ties to the head of your cock, and basically it just pulls on that all day. And I guess you can adjust, you know, the tension that it would be on your piece. And, you know, for the most part, is that necessary? Again, this is people that are trying to maybe do two things at once. Maybe people with other types of fetishes or whatever. I mean, you know, like, there's no right or wrong way to go about this. And, you know, so that, for the most part, is your common stretch. It looks like that. They usually run anywhere from, I don't know, $80 to $200, depending on who's pushing it. And, you know, I mean, it's up to you if you want to try something like that. I don't think it's necessary. Again, if you're handicapped, maybe it's something that will help you. The next thing on the list of devices is going to be some cock rings, and these ones got blown out by me because, you know, you get what are you going to do? You got a whole bunch of different types. You got, you know, your standard one, like this nice, and this is actually a nicer donut, and then you got the super donut, where this one was like, you know, pretty much for the more showing aspect of it, where, you know, you put it on your package and you're just trying to get a super bulge. And that kind of like goes more or less with fetish type of community, and just, you know, hey man, girls wear a push-up bra, you want to put something on your piece down there to really fill out your underwear. There's nothing wrong with that. I mean, actually, there's some bodybuilders that are wearing that stuff that won't claim it. And, you know, it doesn't matter. I mean, if it's something that you want to put on your piece, and by all means, go ahead and do it for that aspect. But I tend to use cock rings as a grow ring. So I'm going to write down cock ring grow. So, yeah, let's go with right there. You can utilize the cock ring much like, you know, like kind of like a pumping mechanism, because when you're super edging, and that's when I'm talking about good maximum blood flow, just really pulling on that head, just get it throbbing as best as you can. You slide that cock ring down to the bottom, and, you know, other people like to put it over the balls too. I don't recommend this for super edging and stretching. And like I said, man, you guys can really get at me in the BCC, where I really, you know, put a program together where I can, you know, really show you how you can put these practices into action. So, you know, this is stuff that I'm always continuously learning and perfecting and growing with along the way to help you become your best version, as I'm doing with me. So anyways, when we're talking about utilizing a cock ring for the growth, I like to just pull it down to the base of your shaft and really just throb it as much as you can. Hold it as long as you can. You don't want to hold more than 2 hours is my, that's where I find where it can start to hurt you. And, you know, and I know that might sound crazy to some, like 2 hours, I got stuff to do. Maybe you want to get that, you know, cock ring sock thing that the guy's selling, but that's up to you. Anyways, to each their own. So what we're going with is, using the cock ring to really just hold as much blood into that piece that you can while you're pulling on it. I guarantee you're going to notice tremendous results just from doing that alone, and along with the jelking and stuff, that's going to help you, you know, kind of go beyond the stretching aspect. And, you know, that's pretty much all I got to say about that. Forrest Gump analogy. I just had to throw it in there real quick, man, because you know how I like to be, man. You know I'm always grinning. If you're grinning, you're winning. The smile is divine. It's made inside the mind. And, you know, that's really what it all comes down to. I mean, of course, I got to go ahead and share this, you know, moment real quick. Just, If you woke up today, go ahead and take this breath with me. I got a shot today. I got a shot at life. And that's a beautiful thing, because gratitude is the attitude. Every single day you wake up, you got a shot, you got a breath in your lungs. This is all coming from the divine that's controlling whatever this beautiful avatar is. And, you know, I hear, you know, there's so many different types of beliefs that you can have out there. And, you know, I don't disagree with any one of them. I just feel that as long as you come with love, you can do no wrong, and come with energy, come with love. And since I'm sharing this real quick, I always got to go ahead and throw my matrix hack out there every single time. I always find my way to rhyme it and roll with it. You know what it is. Anytime that you see somebody from you, you know, whether you're in traffic, across from me at the gym, hear them on the other line of the phone, wherever you happen to be, just instead of having a good, bad, neutral, or whatever thought about that person, just intend on them to have a beautiful day, feel love in some kind of way, and you go along your day, and you just hacked the matrix. You just made the world a better place. So you know what? I just got to go ahead and just draw another heart up there, because the power of love is true. Here we Lou didn't lie, man, and that's a beautiful thing, you know? That heart looks pretty good. You know what? We got to do one more, because you can't go wrong with love. Okay. And one more. Okay. That looks pretty good to me. Extra love, extra beautiful. So, cock rings, I feel like we got that pretty much. You know, pretty much the most aspect that I'm going to get from you is the best thing to do is utilize it to pump. Also, you know, it's good for people that have problems, you know, maintaining erections. That's why these things are created for, you know, people that have, you know, trouble in that department. It will definitely help hold blood into that piece, so you can go ahead and penetrate and be able to perform as best as you can do. And that's really, you know, what the cock ring factor is. So you're either using it for just, you know, showing, which is, you know, you got this big bad boy right here, bulge it out, and you can bulge them out with any of them. So you don't have to go ahead and get the super rubbered out one, and they all break the same. As soon as you get that meat fucking, you know, excuse my language, get that meat stuffed to there, you know, eventually they, you know, they're gonna, you know, they break. And, you know, they want you to use silicone lubricants that are more water-based, and I'm a coconut oil guy, and usually I find some of that is counterproductive, and, you know, that type of, in that kind of world. I'm always trying to figure out the best cock rings. If anybody knows one that's really good for oil-based products, go ahead and leave a link in the, you know, in the comments, man. We're all a community here. We're here to help each other. And, you know, that's really what it comes down to with cock rings. We're talking, so you got the, you know, people that like to just kind of show it, people that like to use it for performance, and people that use it to grow like me. And I'm more on the performance and growth flow. And you just kind of, like I said, man, just really use it with the super edging. If you're out there using condoms, I mean, what's wrong with sliding on a cock ring anyways? I mean, nobody's going to really know the difference. I mean, you're comfortable with your partner, you're going to definitely have a more, you know, it's going to be even harder, man. And it gets bigger and bigger and bigger as you're, you know, pumping and pumping. And, you know, of course, that kind of ties into edging and super edging. And, that is definitely the key to raising your testosterone and your human growth hormone. So, but, you know, because edging, like, you know, you don't want to waste your seed, and we just got off of that No Nut November, and you know me, man, I go a while without, you know, actually ejaculating. To me, my seed is, you know, it's precious, and I don't want to just waste it on nothing. I like to put it back into my body, into my longevity, into creating and manifesting within. So, what we're talking about next, let me take a quick sip real quick, is the penis pump. Now, this is something that you guys may have seen, may not have saw, and, you know, I feel like they've been out since the 70s, and at least that's from what I've seen in some of the vintage porno that you see people utilizing them. Austin Powers, they used it. If you remember, I think it was in the first Austin Powers, you see that he used the pump and he pumped up the guy with the hat, you know. Anyways, great movie. And of course, Magic Mike, we're talking Big Dick Richie, man. Don't forget about that. Joe Manganiello, his character used a penis pump. And if that ain't intriguing to be a Big Dick Richie, why wouldn't you want to buy something like this? I'll tell you right now, I actually, I got me one right here, and I do utilize this thing. But before you go out there and you just want to buy one of these, you really gotta respect the equipment. And I mean that like really coming from my heart, because there's a community out there of pumpers, and we're talking the penis pump community. And if you don't believe me, you can go ahead and get on Twitter, get in Pornhub. You're gonna see plenty of guys that are pumping their piece beyond capabilities and what's functionable. To me, it's all about functionality along with size, because I mean, if you're just making this thing like a huge log of cookie dough, I mean, that's no good for nobody. I mean, we want this thing to be, not only do we want it to be, as thick as we can make it. I mean, we're talking, wine bottle thickness. We're talking the girth of all girth. We're talking shaking the earth. You know what we're getting at. I'm talking about, making as big as you can while standing as tall as it can to be able to, whatever, be able to really just lick it up here. But if you're talking about having that piece where, it's just like, just logging, like, I mean, to each their own, is really what I'm getting at. And you can, like I said, if you misuse the penis pump, you can find yourself damaging it more than helping it. And I'm gonna tell you this, it's very addictive to use a penis pump. Let me go ahead and write down, the pumper community. Why not penis pumpers? Just for the hell of it, since we're talking about it. Penis pump. All right, another star. Penis pumpers, the community of people that, a lot of them, inject silicone into their penis as well. And some of you guys might be intrigued about this and seen this, and maybe you don't know nothing about it, because, it kind of goes hand in hand with people that are going to go ahead and really just rev it up to the next level of wanting to really just make that piece as big as we can make it. And we're talking about, making it as big as you can possibly get it. You really want to not only, pre-stretch it with the gels and, things that I teach you hands-on. We're talking about, you want to be able to understand your limit and not over pump it. And, for the most part, if you're buying a good pump, you can, you're going to be able to learn the flow of it quite simply. Good companies will always tell you don't exceed X amount of pressure on the gauge. If you guys actually do buy a penis pump, the two companies that I recommend is Thick Wall, that you get from overseas, which is where I ordered mine, and LA Pumps. Maybe I'll try to leave the links in the description. But if you guys do order a pump from it based off of me, please send this video to them and be like, hey man, Jesus Detroit is really pumping your product, you know what I mean? Because I do want you guys to be your best, and if anybody's out there, you gotta learn, you're the best person to learn this anyways. So when we're talking about a penis pump, it's addicting, because I mean, if you keep this thing in there for more than 20 minutes, you start filling this tube up. And everybody's penis is different. You're getting up there and you're talking girth, and by the time you get it out, you're like, whose huge cock is this? You know what I mean? It's just like, it's amazing. Like, I mean, it feels great. The only thing is, if you're abusing it, you're bruising it, and you do not want to bruise your penis. It's not fun. You gotta order bruising lotion to help take down the swelling. And I actually offer a more hands-on course of using a penis pump, where I like to use cold water afterwards. I'm still kind of learning if there's water pumping that might be more beneficial to help, not, over swell it. But the penis pump, for the most part, was designed for people that have erectile dysfunction. And, that's kind of goes hand in hand with the cock ring. So, you pump up your piece and you throw a cock ring on it. But if you're using a penis pump for maximum growth, you're not just going to be hard, you're going beyond it. We're going to fill the tube and beyond. And if you look at the companies like LA Pumps, you're going to see how big these things are created. We're talking way thicker than that. We're talking like bigger than a wine bottle, bigger than a 2 liter. And there's actually people that can fill these things up through constant practice and by utilizing silicone, and they inject it in their balls. And like I said, to me, it's counterproductive in my vision of being the best version I can be, because it's not just about having it be the biggest, it's about being the most functionable as well, and just keeping it beautiful. But I mean, if you're all about blowing it up and not caring about changing colors, then by all means go ahead and you're gonna learn quite quickly what you can and cannot do. So with a penis pump, make sure you order a good one. Maybe the water pumping, I would say, might be a better option, so you don't really hurt your your penis while you're pumping, because you're putting it in a vacuum. And we're talking, I like to use coconut oil because I like you like to have some type of lubricant while it's sitting in there for a prolonged period of time. And you kind of learn that pumping is definitely out. It's not a daily thing. I would say, maybe I thought maybe 3 times a week, but I feel like maybe 1 super pump a week. And I'm talking, you don't want to go more than 20 minutes. And it will definitely help you out in your penis growth journey. If not just for, making you feel like, like you can't get your hand around it. I mean, that's a beautiful thing as is. But, you're going to find that, it's gotta, rest after that, and it's gotta recover. So really, it's just like, for a quick, like maybe, a day, it looks really, extra heavy. And then, it's kind of swollen, and, you want to obviously ice it. But I can tell you right now, you do not want to put direct ice on it after it's been super pumped, because your penis can actually kind of, deflate in a deformed way, because you have it kind of like, really, swollen out, and you start putting ice in certain areas of it. Like I'm saying, like, this is just not the way of doing it. If you're going to use a penis pump, I recommend not overdoing it. Just get it to where it feels good. I wouldn't spend more than 20, definitely under 20 minutes in there. And you're going to be like, okay, this is, it's definitely going to come out thicker and wider and longer. That's a guarantee every time. But what I find is I can kind of mimic that same benefit, actually more beneficial, with the cock ring, because when you're super edging, you are the one that's pumping it. You are the one that's in control, mentally and physically, where you're just using the device, you're relying on the vacuum, and your penis is in a tube. You know what I mean? It's doing what it's going to do, and you're mentally focusing the best you can do to, obviously keep it as safe as you can. And by the time you get it out, you're going to be, pretty erect, make it even more erect, where if you're in the cock ring going for maximum erection, you're already as hard as you possibly can be. So where I'm at with this video, man, I've been rambling on for about 24 minutes. And, like I said, man, we're going to have plenty more beautiful experiences to come. I didn't really get to do my pump today because it's like I said, you know what? If you made it this long, why not? I'm going to go ahead and do this anyways and end on this, because you know what it all comes down to. We're talking about the mind and muscle connection, man. It doesn't matter about, about how much weight that you be lifting at the gym. It doesn't matter about how much pressure that you're putting in that pump. All that matters is your mind that's increasing the size. And this is why I kind of like the cock ring, because it's the same principle of you putting the pump into your float, where otherwise you're relying on the tube to grow. So when you're going with this flow, you can just create any energy out of there. Apache Chiefs say it, that everything that you have is already within you. So you go ahead and be the best you can. You go ahead, say some positive mantras along the way. You know how I always say, I'm so happy and grateful that my huge, beautiful penis is growing bigger, thicker, wider, longer, stronger, and harder, abundantly, And then for your muscles, I'm so happy and grateful that my huge, beautiful muscles are growing bigger, harder, stronger, more defined, abundantly. And of course, whenever you guys get one last rep out, we're talking about, you go ahead and you scream and you shout, or at least feel it in your head. You say, I am magic, I am divine, and I can increase my size. Oh yeah, and then never forget, before I let this go, I am magic, I am divine, and the universe is on my side. Yeah, baby, it's a beautiful thing. Long hair flowing, skin glowing, spirit knowing I'm doing something right. Telling you about penis pumps today, having me some Miller High Life. It's a beautiful thing. Make sure you guys are getting at me in the BCC. We have plenty more beautiful experiences to come. And, you know, I'm still happy that I was able to share this information with you, and I intend that it helps you. I intend on everybody out there to have some fun, be some love, spread some love, and beautiful things are sure to come. I'll be seeing you guys on the next one. Take it easy. Peace.